Assuming it's
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 6?
Yeah.
Six of the IFM Actually, no, this is the real episode 5. We're going to forget what happened in the last episode 5. Welcome
what episode?
Welcome to, yeah,
Exactly.
see? That's what I'm talking about. Welcome to episode 5 of the IFM Podcast. I am your host of many, John. I brought some friends along.
Yo, I'm TJ. What's
Brought
up?
some friends into somebody else's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
We brought some friends.
This is actually, we do this in a warehouse.
It's episode 6. Everybody knows who we are.
Yeah. Really?
Everybody.
No, you have to reintroduce yourself.
Nobody cares who.
Nobody cares who we
I
are.
brought Alex. Say hi, Alex.
No.
Hi,
Oh my God.
Alex.
Fuck off. You know, guys,
It's a low energy podcast.
I've
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay, guys. Okay.
All right. So what are we talking about?
Over the
today?
past week, I've developed a new addiction I'm trying to fight.
What's
What's
that?
that?
I go to Speedway all the time.
All
I
right.
always get the mighty 42 ounce. What's the name? Oh my God. No, I always get the mighty 42 ounce Mountain Dew Code Reds.
I don't know who that is.
And I've been doing that every day for the past week, and I have to stop.
Code Red?
Mountain Dew.
Drinking
Code Red.
44 ounces of sugar water? Holy crap. That's
I don't know what's better.
That's
my
a
habit to drink
bad
2
habit.
Monster imports before
that's
this.
fucked up.
Aren't the imports the big ones?
Well,
You were
they're
you
bigger
were
than-
downing immense amounts of sugar
You're
water.
gonna die of something.
That's what you want to die of?
Don't you have like a Diet Coke addiction?
Yeah, Diet Coke doesn't have sugar in it.
Yeah, but it has everything else.
Everything else.
It has.
But
It has.
You're
an
not getting
addiction.
diabetes from food dye.
Well, I don't have diabetes yet.
I mean, the diabetes is whatever.
But
But
no.
you're not
So,
going to
yeah.
get obese from food dye.
No, I didn't. Well, except for this boiling cream soda with
Oh,
some
yeah.
good stuff. But TJ bought this. TJ's fucking inhibiting my addiction. I'm about to have this ginger ale.
No, you're not.
But yeah,
He's,
no.
encouraging your addiction.
But what happened was with actually, I had a crush on the Speedway clerk.
I'm
Oh,
sorry
that's
to
why
hear
you-
That's
that.
part of the reason I went there all the time.
Great.
She was kind of cute, and she was actually the one that gave me my Speedway card, so I thought she liked me. Then I realized,
She
like,
gave you a Speedway card. That's definitely that's a hint.
well, not
Just
everyone
like
gives
that
you a
one
Speedway
one
card.
girl in CVS, she like looked at you like as if she were going to greet
She
you
had
because
you
she
know
worked
what?
behind
She
the
had
counter.
the hots. Her name was Mary.
Okay, get
she had
get
the
this,
hots
John.
for me.
Get this, John. Whenever I go to McDonald's, right,
Yeah.
they always the girl there, she actually gives me my food after I give her the money.
What?
I don't
Yeah.
want to see
No,
John at
she's
a
dropping a
Chick-fil-A.
hint.
Listen, what happened?
I don't want to see you at a Chick-fil-A.
Why?
Because there's going to be a really cute girl, and at Chick-fil-A, they treat you like a god, essentially, when you're in line.
Oh,
So there's going to be a really cute girl, and she's
No,
going to
she's gonna
treat you like
treat
a
me better
god,
than a
and you're going to
god.
think, like, oh my god, this girl's in love with me.
dude. And it probably are.
John is going to drive an hour or so to actually. Toledo, you don't have to go. But John's going to drive wherever, however long it takes to get to Chick-fil-A, just so he can have the cashier
To find his new wife.
to find his new wife.
About to say.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Well, okay. Yes, I do have a tendency to, garner romantic feelings for my
That
store
is definitely
local
true.
store associates.
A woman behind the
not a
cash
good
register
idea.
gave you a look as you walked into her
Oh,
store.
you should have seen that
She
look.
looked
Though
at you
She
while
double
when you
take.
walked
She double
into her
take.
store.
So you walk in through the CVS. She looked at you, and yeah, but then she was like, "Damn, was he really that hot?" Boom, she gave the second look. That's the double take. She didn't look at you twice. You were there too.
Yeah.
If she looked at you twice, I'm like, TJ, wait.
She's
I
like,
didn't even
"Damn, how
notice her
does,
look at me or look in our direction.
She looked right
It's
at
like,
me.
damn, is
She
that guy
looked-
like?
she looked
that
at my-
guy actually
She had those
exists?
cute
Like,
Harry Potter glasses that were like falling off her face because I don't know where she fucking got. They must be like her dad's hand-me-downs.
John,
But,
I
like,
don't think this girl liked you whatsoever. She probably looked at you and like was about to greet
Well,
you.
you'll
but then
never
stopped.
know. Listen, I don't love these hoes. She's probably thinking about me every day. She's probably like, oh man, I wish.
John, how many times have you thought about this girl since then?
Actually, bro, I didn't think about her till after that day. This was last week. I didn't think about her. Oh shit, sorry. I didn't think about her. Okay.
John's probably thought about her less than she's thought about him. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
That's
at the
definitely
very
not
least. She
true.
probably thinks about me all the time.
That's
She
definitely not
probably looks at at that door at CVS every time. She's like, oh man, I hope he comes through again, but it never happens. And you know
it's
what?
Never, no.
Huh?
Nope.
Yeah, no, it
No.
happens.
No.
Anyways, yeah, no. Alex, we got a long list of topics. Well, we don't have a long list, actually.
We have some topics.
We have
a
some
list.
topics.
We have a couple.
I was able to garner just at work when I'm not working. I look at
At work while I'm not working.
I look at news sites. But yeah, no. I think the first one was interesting. It was about the guy and the dog and his girlfriend.
Guy and a dog and his girlfriend.
I don't know. Can you?
No. I'll think about bringing that one up.
Yeah,
Really?
maybe bring that one up.
Okay, no. Anyways, the gist of it is
A
a
man
man called off his wedding because his fiance almost killed his dog.
What?
Amazing.
Yeah, no.
Was
So
it on accident?
Wait, I feel like I've heard this. Is this
It-
where he? Oh,
was
wait,
it
wait,
really
wait.
an
I think
accident,
I've
though?
heard this. Fiance killed his dog. His wife left his dog in the house or something. Or
no,
his
he left
car?
his dog in the house.
Yeah,
while
something
she
in the
had her-
house.
It was her. What do they call it? The bachelorette party.
Was this on freaking? Was this on Reddit?
Yeah, it was a Reddit post.
Oh, and this. Why were you looking at it on freaking Business Insider?
I don't know if they wrote it. That's where I read about
This
it.
is normie tier.
Oh my God, everyone's a Reddit. Where's your topic?
Oh, I'm just criticizing.
That's what
I'm
I
criticizing
thought.
yours, John.
The man in the arena, the cold and timid soul that will never know victory or defeat. Here we go again.
Hey, Alex,
Anyways,
pull up the one from Reddit. I'm joining the arena.
okay. But yeah, no. So, the fuck are you doing? No. But listen. So what happened was this guy he left his his wife had a bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he was reluctant to at first. He left his dog at the house.
Yeah.
And the wife was partying. They got drunk, and they had left some, I think, chocolate and alcohol on a coffee table, which the dog could reach. The dog proceeds to eat those things, and has to be rushed to the vet.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the idea is that why'd you leave it there? You know there are bullet points.
What?
If you scroll down, we're just looking at the picture now. Oh wait, you can't
What do you
see
wanna
that.
see?
Yeah, just leave it there. Okay.
Everyone else can see it.
Wait, they can see it, the
Yeah.
viewers?
Oh yeah, I worked it out.
Oh wow.
We need the actual thread, though.
I mean, yeah, you can. If you want to find the thread, you can do that too. Yeah, no. So what happened is, and
The "Am I the Asshole" thread, is that the one that's linked in the article?
Yes, the one the
Oh,
whole
this
article is
is
based on.
oh yeah, okay,
This is quite beefy.
yeah, no. Yeah, okay, no. Oh, it's on. Where? Yeah, am I the asshole?
Thank you.
So I guess that's the question. So after she did this, he called off the wedding. Is he the asshole? TJ, would you?
Well, I can see how that would actually be an accident. They were drunk.
How would
and-
you? I don't understand these. I think the subreddit, that subreddit's like pretty retarded. But with all of these, so many of these posts, it's like, particularly like this subreddit. I mean, because like the concept of like, oh, did I do this? Like, you want validation? Like, that's not new. But this subreddit, like, am I the asshole? It's like, so many of them are just so retarded because it's like these people be in relationships with other people. Yes, thank you. See, somebody gets it. Thank you, viewers. So many of these people be in like relationships that are months, if not years long, and then they have one thing happen that they somehow didn't know anything. They had zero indication that this person would let a dog, go unattended and eat toxic substances or, do whatever. Like, they had zero indication, right? They see this happen, and then they blow the whole thing up with no like conversation. And I'm like,
Yeah, he told
is
her.
this
don't.
really how it's going? I don't think so.
Well, I think in this case it was. A lot of people point how it was probably a symptom of a much bigger problem. And
yeah,
that
I feel like this is the thing that pushed it over the edge.
This was not like, it wasn't like everything was going fine, she did this, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think this was a bad relationship to start with, and maybe this was just like, from what you said earlier, he wasn't very happy with the party at first. He didn't really want it to happen.
I don't know if that was.
That's what I
there
heard.
were. I think if you actually read the thread, which was a beefy thread, it was a. I don't know. She may have had financial illiteracy problems.
Okay, so there was more problems than just this. I feel like, if this is what pushed him over the edge, he was gonna get pushed over the edge anyways. So I mean,
Okay.
I guess I don't think he's the asshole. If the relationship is as bad as it would need to be for this to be like acceptable.
Yeah, no. Alex, would you break up with your girlfriend if your dog was
It's all about the
Is this
intent.
guy the asshole? Let me ask you the question. What do you think?
So I'm reading the thread, and it says in the relationship they've had their ups and downs.
Yeah.
That's just a
But,
nice
like-
way of putting they've fucking had a bad relationship.
He beat her ass.
they've had a bad relationship.
That they had that when people say they have their up and downs, they mean to lightly put. Yeah, we've gotten arguments, we've had our fights, we've like had up and down. You know,
That's not
like
how I interpret
it's just a nice way of putting the relationship's a little iffy. That's the way I interpret it.
Hit him with the stiffy. A little iffy. Oh shit. You guys didn't hear that, did you? Yeah, but no, I think Jake had a point with the Am I That? A lot of people go there for validate. I mean, that's the internet, though. Like, people are like, people go there for validation, like-minded people.
Yeah.
He's looking for people to say, no, you did the right thing. I bet half the people that post on Am I the Asshole expect everybody that sees it to say, no, you're not the asshole. The other person is wrong. Listen, buddy. You know,
I feel like that's where it sprouted. Somebody has that feeling like, oh, somebody else has to know. Like somebody else has to believe I'm not the bad guy here. Like I feel like that's the whole start of the subreddit. Like that's the reason for it.
If you actually thought you were the asshole, you would not be posting on him either, because you would be like, oh god, I look like a fucking dumbass. But yeah, no.
Unless you're actually stupid. Like,
yeah. I would go on. What is it? Do you guys know who Dave Ramsey is?
No.
He's this financial.
Yeah, I know.
He's this financial.
I ever so often listen to his radio show.
Yeah, it is a radio show, and I think it's a podcast too. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, no, it's like a video podcast, and it ties into the "Am I the Asshole" thing. And I've been watching it. I had a recent liking for his videos, but I got bored of him pretty quick because a lot of the people that call in for financial help, like we are $1 million in debt. We're 29 years old. $1 million in debt. How do we pay this off? And like most of it comes from student loans, credit card debts, car debt, and like it's just like I
that's a lot.
I don't understand, because like half the time Dave Ramsey answers the phone. It's typically like an 8-minute video, and he's talking to them. He doesn't really tell them like exactly specifically what to do. Maybe there's more Dave Ramsey that I'm missing. I know he has these 7 like steps, and that like first step is you save $1,000. Second or third step is, you get an emergency fund. But other than that, like, I don't understand the purpose of these phone calls, because like they'll call them, say, oh, we're in debt, we're $90,000 in debt, we can't find a way to live below $160,000 a year. Who the fuck can't find a way to live below $160,000 a year? And like he just basically, I don't know. It's just, and like a lot of these people, it's probably the same. They're searching for validation or something. Be like, oh no, you're right, or I don't know. They just want publicity because like to show how stupid they are with money. Like, how are you $1 million in debt at 29? That fucking boggled.
I couldn't even think about that.
That fucking scares the shit out of me.
How do you even
being in debt?
How do you even get yourself to that point? Like how?
Well, it goes. Well, a lot of it's student loans. Then then you buy a car. Then you have credit. The credit card debt is the most inexcusable one, in my opinion. Student loans, maybe you can argue like, okay, well, you had to get an education. That's fine. Car, well, iffy. Could have bought a bit cheaper car in cash, but yeah, no. Other than that, but yeah, no, that's Dave Ramsey. And now on to, what is it? We're still in the vein of talking about relationships.
What?
Well, no, we're not talking about relationships. We're talking about women.
What?
And I have topic 2.
All right.
Topic 2. Alex, do you know what I'm talking about?
Something MMA.
MMA, yes.
What about?
So there was this. I think he's Korean. He's a MMA fighter.
Yeah.
You know how they have ring girls?
Yeah. Did he hit a ring girl?
No, they're fucking hot. But no,
What does that have to do
I would
with-
have. Yeah.
okay, well, you'll see. So apparently,
If they were ugly, you'd
so there was a
definitely knock 'em out.
controversy where he grabbed one of the ring girls for a photo shoot. He
Who's
grabbed
this?
her by the waist.
Oh yeah, here.
What's his name?
Probably says his name in the article. So look, if you look at the picture on the left, here he is grabbing the girl. He was accused of sexual assault for this. I don't know if it was a girl.
How dare he?
And now look at the right photo. This is after he wins another fight. Notice how he's not touching her. Actually, I don't know. Can you show a video of it? Like, we don't need to play the sound or anything, but
Yeah, there's a video on here.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
Scroll
from
down,
what I'm
show the
seeing, that
video.
he's just like
huh?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, okay. Here's another picture of the girl trying to come up because he doesn't want to touch her at all. Like, because he is so because what happens? He was accused of sexual assault. This like ruined his life. There was so much publicity, and after
This same girl.
no, it was a different girl.
Huh.
This is
Wait, where's the actual girl?
Scroll up.
Scroll back up, Alex.
They
This
just-
is the girl who he grabbed and was accused of sexual assault.
And
So
then
then
that's
why
a
is the
different
second
girl
girl
on the right.
relevant?
That's a year later.
Okay, well, it's not a year later. It's just after. So what happens after he grabs this first girl is he's accused of sexual assault. This dogs him. There's a whole bunch of online controversy, and like he's like so traumatized by it.
Yeah.
That if you actually see the video, it shows a better. Can't you find the video on here?
What?
Yeah, there's a video. Should play the video. Play the clip. Yeah, right here.
Is my cursor on it?
No, go lower. His name's Park Dae-sung. Play it. No, right. God damn it. Click now. Now scroll down a bit. See? Oh, there you go. Scroll down. Scroll down. All right. Oh wait. No, that's just the video of. It doesn't show what happens where he is with the second girl. Oh, look at that Asian. Look at that booty. Look at that.
Wait.
Damn.
It's definitely not Asian booty. It's.
What? That girl's Asian.
How you stop yourself when you said Asian booty?
Oh, well, I don't. Asians don't have booty. But no.
Okay.
Listen. Actually, no. Alex, while I'm talking, look up Park Dae-sung on Google, and it'll show the video where the other girl's trying to grab him, but he keeps running away from her.
Why is that relevant?
Because it shows it. So you go a year or I don't know, it's not a year after, but after it shows like just how afraid he is to even like touch a girl. You saw the video right there where he just grabbed her.
Yeah, that's the original one.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, it's crazy. He like does it. He's
John,
saying get off me.
My question is why does this guy hate women?
I don't know if he hates me. He's afraid of women.
I'm just joking.
Listen, like that's the thing. There's not a man who's afraid of, but there are men who are afraid of women.
There's not a man.
What about you?
There's no man that hates women. I'm afraid of women. I live in
no
fear.
man that hates women.
No, it's just fear. It's just fear. It's just fear. It's just an abstraction of their fear.
I believe that's an oversimplification.
No. They're like just Google like Park Dae-sung running away, Alex.
Running away.
Yeah, running away, and no, and so I don't, and I guess for this Me Too thing. I like it. I support it.
Why do you like it?
I started off as these guys in power would grab these women, and these women like oftentimes they couldn't like report.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And so that's what happens. And, outing these guys for like whatever they do, rape or whatever. But then I feel like some people get carried away with it, and like every little thing is like, sexual assault or whatever. Like that guy, maybe he didn't sexually assault her, but he was accused of it. And like, how much One Punch Man have you been fucking watching? I'm looking at these related. Okay, yes, here it is. He wins. Oh, see? He's like, get the fuck away from me, bitch. He's saying, hell no.
Holy
Stay
shit,
away.
he's running away.
He's like, I ain't got time for this. Dude, look, if this girl was beckoning me over, I would be begging. I'd be like, yes.
Defending himself from
look at this. He's
women.
like, stay away from me. Stay away from me. Oh, okay. Oh, and that's a picture. Oh, my God.
It's for sure not
the same girl. She gets closer. He's like, no. He's grabbing the other guy. That dude, see?
Yeah, he was obviously scared. He did not want that to happen again.
He's like, get away from me. Thought be gone. Dude, that girl was hot. What are we watching? What the fuck?
I don't know what you're watching.
Oh, man. Oh, they can't see us, though. I didn't know. Yeah, but no. So, no, as I was saying, but no, I support it. But again, when you're just accusing every little guy of fucking, just
sexual assault.
When it's not really like, maybe he was forceful with her. He shouldn't have grabbed her. That like you see the first video, he like yanks her over. He's like, "Come here, bitch." I don't know if he didn't mean it like that. But
it's literally he didn't mean it like that. He grabbed her. He didn't even grab her in a bad place. Grabbed her by the hip. It's not like he grabbed her by the fucking ass and like get over here, but like get over here or whatever.
Dude, where are these girls? How come I never see girls that hot? Like Asians aren't that hot, but those two girls were just fucking.
Well, yeah, they're ring girls, dude. They're of course.
Like, where do they breed these women? Like,
yeah, that's the first thought that pops into my head too.
No, but yeah, no, they're hot. Like that is a specific subset of super women. Okay, but yeah, no, those are Koreans are the really white ones, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're pretty pasty.
They're pretty pasty. I don't like that. I like a little bit of tanness.
I would expect you to.
Like Filipinos, they have they're tan. They got nice supple features.
Okay, let's stop this. What's next on
the fuck?
list?
The fuck? What's next on the list? What do we even
what's
have?
Next?
What is our next topic?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
asking.
don't remember?
We don't. I don't know. Is it the Arthur one?
Yeah, Alabama.
Actually, no. Stop.
What?
There were European elections. Now, fun fact.
Who cares?
Now,
Europe is irrelevant.
Okay, listen.
I don't live
Shit.
in Europe.
Listen,
I don't care.
listen.
Really.
Guys, no, this is a worldwide trend.
Doubt it.
Okay, listen. So, I think yesterday, I don't know if I said it on the podcast or after the podcast. You know what, motherfucker? I don't know if I said it before or after the podcast, but I said something like, because Australia had its own election, and like a bunch of the left-leaning parties campaigned heavily on climate change, but they lost still. It was still the conservative. And I was like, you know what? We got to stop running on climate change because nobody cares about climate change and nobody's going to vote for it.
True.
And whatever. But then the European elections happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, then I almost ate my words. Did
You
he
almost
win?
ate your words.
Did he win?
Hell no.
Yeah, no, he didn't win.
I think UKIP lost all their seats. That's what I thought I heard.
I don't know how the European elections work, but I do know this. The Green parties, the parties that advocate on climate change, they made some of the biggest gains. So I don't know like why it is that in some places, you know, the climate change, you know, is a winning strategy, and other places climate change isn't a winning strategy. But yeah, because I used to say like, if it's not working in Australia, then we should really stop campaigning on climate, because the fact of the matter is people don't care about climate change. And the only way people will care about climate change is when their fucking house is flooded and it's fucking gone. Then they'll start being like, oh, why didn't you do anything? Blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the European elections proved me wrong. But, yeah, no, Jake, how did fucking UKIP do?
Bad.
Bad? Really?
Poorly.
I know a lot of the fucking, what is it, the far-right parties. They didn't do as well as expected. I think in France, Marine Le Pen's party beat Macron's, and in Italy they won again, but they did not do half as well. Like they don't really have like they won't be able to really do much, because they did okay. They didn't really sweep. Like I think the polls were saying like they were going to the fucking curb stomp, and they didn't. So yeah, no. And so that's all I had to say about the European elections.
So UKIP lost all of its members in the European Parliament.
Okay.
So they basically got dunked on. Yeah.
Really?
But
what was the Brexit party?
Sargon Avocad was one of their candidates.
Oh man, you mean to tell me running as a fucking YouTuber doesn't? You know, do you watch any of his videos?
Not really. I think I've listened to a couple of his videos, but I never.
Here's what I have to say. Yeah, keep going. I shouldn't have.
It was. How do I say this? I didn't particularly enjoy them. It seemed pseudo-intellectual. I don't know.
That's a lot of. I feel with YouTube, it's where because a lot of people will blame like. They go off at mainstream media for making some of the shittiest, like, being biased and whatever, low quality. But, like, if you really want to see low quality bias, go on fucking YouTube. That is where journalism goes to fucking die. Like, all journalists, they don't pretend to be journalists or even, but, like, well, they don't say they're journalists, but they try to act like journalists, like they know something. And, like, there's a whole contingency on YouTube that will just look up articles and, like, read them to you and, like, offer, like, their take on it, which typically fits their narrow worldview on everything. And so that is why I hate going on YouTube for fucking just any fucking news insight. And you know who else what's his face? The guy with the pit bull that fucking did the Nazi salute. What the fuck? What did he say? He could be a part of what the? I'd kill any.
Chat's blowing up right now.
For smelling.
There's some hate speech in the chat right now.
Oh,
sorry, hate
my
speech.
God.
What the heck? The only
Yeah,
reason John still
speech.
clings to hardcore leftism in every stance is because at one point in his life, liberal politics was the one thing he felt he could be a part of every time his dad wasn't there. That's an ad hominem.
John, I think you just got dunked on.
I did. I fucking did.
3Digi has it out for you, dude.
I fucking did.
He's got it out for you.
He's
coming for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting dunked on.
You know, he's more than welcome on the show. He lives near.
Libs are getting.
You're more than welcome on the show, Edgy Kid, or 3Digi Kid. You can.
Libs are getting owned right now.
What do you mean? They make gains in Europe.
No, you're a lib and you're getting owned by Digi.
Yeah, no.
Haha.
Maybe he likes those YouTube journalists.
You know where?
Talks another viewer, see what happens.
Oh crap!
Oh, snap.
What was I gonna say?
Don't you live in Los Angeles, said you kid?
Yes, he lives in Los Angeles. That's where we live.
Yeah.
You know where the best political viewpoints come from? Twitch streams.
Who is that?
Those are the hottest
Destiny?
takes.
Destiny and what? ASM?
Oh,
Mongold or something?
I still, maybe I'll change someday. Actually, I don't think I'll change because I'm a boomer. But I don't think I'll ever. I don't think I can adopt this Zoomer mindset of like actually caring about and following YouTube or Twitch personalities. Like, I think you guys. I think basically everybody in our like online group does, except for me. Like, I mean, like you guys, like you all like you like everybody at some point on here is named off like some streamer or some YouTuber, and they actually like cared about what they like did or said, and I'm like, I can't relate.
Weren't you the one just going about how Sargon ran for?
Yeah, I was saying it was funny because I don't care, and he lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how's that different from what we do? We like have emotional investment in like Sargon running.
I'm not saying Sargon in particular, but
I don't like. I know of Twitch personalities. Like I know Destiny. I mean, do I really like care about Destiny?
Yeah, I'd say I follow people, but I don't like really care.
I guess I just don't follow them at all. Not really.
I mean, I there's only one Twitch streamer I follow actively. Wings of Redemption, you love them. Then there's a YouTube streamer, Low Tier God. I think they're hilarious though. They're hilarious. They have nice personalities.
Do you guys actually watch streams?
Depends on. I don't watch.
It's very Zoomer.
I don't watch every stream, but like if I'm bored, nothing to do, and like I see they are streaming or they did a stream. Typically with Wings of Redemption, he has highlight channels, and I watch those bad boys. And they're like 11-minute summaries of his 2-hour fucking they're 11-minute summaries of his 2-hour streams. So and they're interesting, and that's how I keep up with them. But yeah, no, I don't. Alex, you follow any Twitch personalities?
I don't have emotional investment.
But you do follow.
I do.
Which ones?
They can't be named. Sorry.
Boogie
to 988.
Boogie to 988.
He's crazy, dude. He got those teeth.
Subhuman.
I have no Woody.
John does indeed follow Wings of Redemption, and we are all sorry for him.
I don't just follow. I'm subscribed to him.
That's unfortunate.
That's where my Twitch Prime.
Oh, that's your free one. Okay, well.
No, that's where I actually pay the tier 1 $25 a month.
All right. Hey, Alex, cut the stream. Oh, we're not talking anymore, please.
Yep.
Oh my
podcast's
God.
over.
Stop hating.
You're giving money.
I bet you've given more money to Wings of Redemption than you have putting into this podcast.
I put a lot of money in this podcast.
Yeah, but you've put in more money to Wings of Redemption.
Oh, yeah. Well, shit. Wings of Redemption deserves
You
it,
give money to Wings of Redemption.
How much money have you given the Wings of Redemption?
I don't understand. Like,
how long have you been subscribed?
This is a product you like.
What is so funny? What is so great about Wings of Redemption?
This is a product you like.
Hey, Alex, is Wings of Redemption in any way remarkable or provide value for people?
John, answer me this.
That Wings of Redemption.
He started an industry based off his stream. He is a driving force in the economy. He has made people wealthy off of his.
John, tell me real quick. How long have you been subscribed?
The downfall of Wings of Redemption.
Coming on 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Of $25 a month.
Guys, where do you guys? $5. That was a fucking meme. $25 a month. Yeah, I am subscribed to it. I don't pay $25. I use my free subscription.
What is Wings of Redemption like? What? He throws controllers.
Well,
I would wager that Wings of Redemption.
He's 400
is
plus
a higher
pounds.
tier human
He's
than
not
just about
pounds.
anyone in this room.
He's not 400 pounds anymore. You gotta follow him, Jake. If you follow him, maybe you'd know more about him. Boom, baby. Jake,
it says he's homophobic, and that's whack.
Oh,
that's not
no.
True. That's not true. Listen, Jake.
It says here on Encyclopedia Dramatica that he is 400 pounds plus. He's hypocritical, disgusting, racist, homophobic.
He's none of those things.
He discriminates on the basis of religion. He's a basement dwelling no-lifer that throws controllers.
I don't think any of this is true.
Constantly begs for money for a surgery that he will never have.
He had the surgery.
Due to being too much of a pussy.
What was that written?
He will be dead before he even hits 40.
Whoa.
That might be true.
I don't even need to comment to make the stream funny. All you gotta hear is any 5-second insight to John's life.
Damn, dude, our viewers.
See, John is providing value for our viewers.
Our viewers. You know what, Edgy Kid? We're making your Monday night. All right,
you're
welcome.
In the form of anecdotes from John's life, which retail worker did he make feel uncomfortable today?
Retail worker? I didn't see her today.
Was it Speed?
No, the reason.
Okay, not today. Then it was maybe tomorrow.
No,
was it Speedway?
Listen, she has this tattattoo on it. I saw the tattoo behind her neck, and I was like,
behind her neck.
Like John's gonna hand
she
like
around.
John's gonna see a hot cashier. He's gonna see that she does double take.
What's that?
He's gonna be like,
oh yeah, okay, never mind. She
you
does
double take.
She does a double take. You mean? She does double take. I thought like that was like a drug or something. Keep going. What's your story?
She does a double take, right? She sees it. You're a hot piece of ass.
That's
you go
right.
up.
That's
right. You go up to the You go up to the counter. You bring your goods.
44 ounces.
You hand her the money.
44 ounces.
And then she has to give you change, right?
Yeah.
And you say like, if you give me change, I'm gonna come in my pants. And then joke's on her because she has to give you her change because she's like, obligated to by her job. And then she gives you the change. But that really means that she's into you.
Yeah, no, that's a good strategy. Sometimes I go to Aldi and I tell them to keep the quarter because I have a crush on them. Like what happens is
you tell them that.
You tell the cart that?
No, like I'm gonna put my cart back. A cute girl comes up. She's like, "Oh wait, give me your cart," and she hands me a quarter because you know how because I gave her my cart, so I didn't get my quarter back. She gives me a quarter, equivalent exchange. I'm like, nah, you keep the quarter.
Shove it back in her face.
Can we stop the podcast, please?
What?
I'm kidding.
What?
I'm just fucking.
Listen.
Sorry, I'm just cringing too hard.
You got.
How many times?
I remember when I was like 13 years old. When I was younger, I would see a hot girl like a fast food restaurant.
Please no.
And to impress them,
make it stop.
I would order more food to show them I
had
money.
What?
That's insane.
Actually,
what?
Yes.
Retarded.
What?
Yeah,
that's so.
So like,
that's worse than.
Can you paint a picture?
That.
Can you paint a picture?
That's worse than.
Paint a picture of what? Me buying the
whole
like
what would you buy?
I don't know. Like, say I needed just one McDouble or something.
You get two
I
McDoubles.
always made sure my bill was in the double digits.
Drip.
Really?
Like, if it was gonna be $7, like,
oh
wait,
yeah.
Make
add
it
a Big
$12.
Mac, and then you just throw it away.
Yeah, no.
Hell
my
yeah.
God, John eats so much. It's so cute.
Oh, he's a big.
Oh my
guy.
God.
Oh.
Yeah.
He eats so much McDonald's. That's so attractive.
Yeah, baby.
Wow. I bet he lives.
Yeah. Yeah. See. No, you guys don't understand. It never worked for me. No girls ever.
I think so.
But that doesn't mean you stop trying.
Listen, you don't stop trying. You go triple digits every time. You go to McDonald's. You're getting $100 of
their
food.
food too.
You're flexing on them. You're flexing on them.
Yeah.
Wow. Girl doesn't like you. Buy $100 worth of McDonald's. They will like you.
Yeah. No. That's the fucking.
It's that simple.
That's the fucking.
What does Chad do? That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
And I mean, honestly, that's why I don't like going outside. You see a cute girl, then she fucking ruins your life.
Is there any
I
other
almost risked
topics?
diabetes for the. Yeah, we have other topics. Motherfucker, what are you in a hurry for? We're here for an hour and a half. Okay.
Can we talk about how bad Wings of Redemption is? Just as a person.
I don't. Okay, stop reading that. That's not true. None of that's true. Actually, he had the surgery. He's not 400 pounds. He's not racist. He doesn't discriminate.
I think he might
religion.
be racist. I think.
Why? Why do you think that? You follow him?
The internet said he was racist.
You don't believe everything you read on the internet?
Also,
and also, Jay, how is it not different from you following like actors and like what movies they do?
I don't.
Yeah, you do. Christian Bale. You love Christian Bale.
Yeah, he's all right, but I don't remember.
Yes, you do. The last movie he was in. You know it.
Last movie.
Christian Bale was in. You already know it.
Oh yeah, his Vice.
See? You follow him. Follow his works. You see Christian Bale's name on it, you're like, oh, I gotta see this movie. Christian Bale's in it.
Christian Bale isn't a Twitch streamer that throws his controller.
How is that any different from just any personality?
Because he's a better one.
Oh,
shit!
Oh, no true Scotsman, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's just particularly with Twitch. Like I would argue that Christian Bale, or I guess a Hollywood actor, is more likely to put
I bet you
time and effort and skill into
money into Christian Bale's work.
Have I put money? I guess
you buy tickets to his movies.
That's true.
Oh shit!
I'm just like what Christian Bale does versus like what Rings of Redemption does. I don't think are quite comparable.
What do you mean? he puts on a show. They're both entertainers.
Yeah, they're entertainers. Yeah,
but the amount of work that goes into one entertainment and the other is very different.
Like Christian Bale's form of entertainment, whether you know like Hollywood or disagree with Hollywood, but you know, like Christian Bale, you know, Christian Bale is like an extreme example because he's like a method actor, right? You know, he's getting super in the roles. He's, you know, getting super into shape or what?
It's just any actor. It really doesn't matter.
But like at least with an actor, it's like you actually have to, you know, like you have to go to a set. You know, you're friggin'. I mean, yeah, okay, there's IRL Twitch streamers, I guess, but it's like, what does Wings of Redemption do? Like, what is he like really investing in? Like he's just sitting in his basement throwing controllers and playing games.
Have basement.
Alex, your fridge is open.
Oh, I think I opened it when I got the.
Maybe you should go close it, John.
Usually one closes a fridge.
Wait, I don't remember.
Just go close it, John.
You don't remember?
Take off your headset, too.
I'll be right back. Oh, my God. You guys carry the show.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Christian Bale was in Henry V.
Water, too. Oh, my
Did
God.
you read the first part of his message that says, don't read this?
Read what he said, don't read this.
Oh, my God. Listen, okay. Listen, guys. Listen, guys. This water's sweating because I love
like.
The
What do you mean? Do you actually like? Are you?
Whatever. Okay.
An actual topical response is that what we're going for?
Okay. All right. Listen, guys. Alex, I gave you what, the Arthur one?
You want to hear about Arthur?
No, guys. Okay. Before I start, what is the worst state in the fucking union?
Worst state?
Yeah, worst state. If you had to pick one.
Because there's like irrelevant states, and then there's like
just the worst. Just the one where it's like
worst,
bad,
just terrible. If you lived there, you'd like. So if you lived in an irrelevant state, you wouldn't hate it. It would just be an irrelevant state that you forget about.
Let me check.
California,
please.
Maryland.
Maryland. See, I can't really think. Well, see, Maryland. You know, Maryland actually is like.
Guys, there's one answer.
What? All right, John. Don't tease.
I have you guys go first, though.
Okay.
Well, okay. What were you gonna say about Maryland?
Maryland, it actually, like, Maryland is, has coastline, and they have, like, seafood, so, like, even if the rest of the state is crap, they at least have, you know, coastline, so that's, like, a saving grace. There's plenty of states out there that have no coastline, and they have absolutely nothing else. I mean...
Okay.
I don't know much about Oklahoma. I wouldn't want to live in Oklahoma. I can't imagine what I'd do there. Kansas... I don't know, but even Oklahoma or Kansas maybe might have some sort of scenery.
No, those places are shit.
Like
those places are
Ohio.
Ohio?
Oh, no. Ohio's the worst.
Ohio's garbage.
Like Ohio's actually garbage.
Like everything, the best things about the best things about Ohio are average.
Yeah, exactly.
And everything less than that is garbage.
I've heard that the best city in Maryland, or not Maryland, Ohio, is literally just a normal city.
I mean, like... Or I guess there's people always say like the people in Ohio are very nice, which I think is true.
I think.
But like who like
most people.
I can't think of anybody. Nice. I mean, I'm sure there's other states with this criteria. I can't think of anybody that I've run into, or that I can imagine running into that would actually want to live in Ohio.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to about
obviously your
Ohio.
measures are very different than mine.
Or New Jersey, you know, that's a good one.
No, your measures are very different. What I count is the income of the state, average income. You know,
if they're low income, I hate low income states. God.
I'm just
can't
saying
they
it's
just
the
get
worst
more
state.
income?
I'm just saying the state. But no, low income, high. What is it? Maternity death rates or infant mortality rates?
I really care about infant mortality rates where I live.
No. I mean, you just look like.
John, are you gonna have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna have kids?
Maybe one day. And
really?
If that's the case,
it's a change of
if that's the case, I mean, you know, I fuck bitches on the side, so you know, I might get one of them.
Oh, okay.
But no, listen, the worst state is Alabama. All right,
Alabama.
It is always
Alabama.
Alabama is hot garbage. It's full of poor people because the government shit.
Why is Alabama worse than Mississippi? I feel like Mississippi should
actually
be
they
worse.
might be tied. Terrible education.
Because I think I was hearing an argument between Mississippi and Alabama, and like so they're both like maybe Alabama now is ranked lower for education and stuff, but Mississippi is the same or lower, or they're close in rankings in that sort of sense. But my understanding was that Alabama has more like metro areas than Mississippi. Like Mississippi doesn't really have. I forget if the argument was that they didn't have good ones or their metro areas were too small. So basically, they were saying like, yeah, they're both by most rankings pretty poor, but at least Alabama had a couple metro areas, and both of them have coastline. So I mean,
all right, okay. Listen. I don't.
They have beaches. You can go to a beach in Alabama.
I don't care how many beaches a state has. I'm telling you this.
Well, if there's no beach, it's gotta be shit.
Terrible education ranking. These people are not only stupid, but because they're stupid, they're poor because they received a terrible education. High infant mortality rates. So I mean, that might be a good thing because like if I was born in Alabama, I too would want to kill myself. And maybe this is true for Mississippi too. But on top of that, Alec, this actually ties to the time why I bring up Alabama.
Would you rather live in Iowa or Alabama?
Iowa.
Why? There is
better
nothing
education,
to do.
Higher average income. I don't care if there's anything to do. I sit in front of a computer all the time.
John, when we drove outside of our little suburban area,
went to the fucking boonies, man. That place
John,
is fucking
John, you were
shit.
freaking out in the car.
Were you?
John, if you went to Iowa,
I was not playing up an act.
Like, if you went to Iowa, you would have a heart attack.
Wait, can you explain how John was in the car trip an hour away?
Dude.
Like as soon as we leave the suburbs.
An hour away.
As soon as we leave the suburbs.
Yeah.
John starts freaking out. He's like, there are not other. I am not actively witnessing other brown people around me. He's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
There aren't. I'm not surrounded by liquor stores and vape stores and whatever else happens to be in John's city.
John was 100% serious.
John was 100% serious.
All these stores he never even goes to.
Okay,
you were actually making a point that these were not.
I'm kidding, but John was not having it. John was not happy with like leaving a suburban area and going to a rural area. If John thought like what we went through was like in the boonies, there's this place called Iowa.
Listen, Iowa is garbage compared to where we live, but still, Iowa's 10 times better than Alabama. I have a higher chance of having a better job that pays more.
Really though? I don't believe that.
I mean, you can look it up. I mean, you know what? Actually, Alex, fuck the Alabama thing. Rank the states. We have that topic too. Boom. The United States of America ranked from best to worst. What is the best state? The best. Actually, it says the criteria. Alex, I don't know. Alex, can you see it? You'll find the criteria. It was done by U.S. News and World. Okay. Evaluate all 50 U.S. states in healthcare, education, economy, infrastructure, opportunity, fiscal stability, crime, environment to create an environment. So, scroll down. What was the best one? Just scroll down a little bit. Best one's Washington State. Scroll up a little bit more. Best one, Washington State. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, where's Alabama on that list? 49th. Ooh, wait, or is it 48th? Is Alabama? Where's Alabama?
It's 49th.
49.
See, it's close. Worst is Louisiana. Fuck Louisiana. So yeah, Alabama is a garbage fucking state. I guess Louisiana is too. Louisiana has coastline. It's got fucking seafood. Doesn't matter if you're fucking poor and fucking dying though, and your infrastructure's just shit. Shit. So yeah,
every state's infrastructure is shit, basically.
Nope.
Nope. Yes.
Not Ohio's. Ohio's actually pretty nice.
Ohio's is better than Michigan, but we're setting because we have the worst infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, even the rest of the states basically are pretty piss poor. I mean, there's ones that are better, but it's like just slightly less piss than the other ones.
I think we ranked better than Ohio, though.
Huh?
Yeah, we did. Look,
you were just telling. Oh well, this is based on all those other factors.
Yeah.
This isn't just infrastructure.
2 is New Hampshire, though. We should go to fucking New Hampshire. Live free or die, baby.
Yes.
Live free or die. That's a motto. Did you know that?
Yes.
I was talking to TJ. Do you know that? Well, you know that now. Yeah, but no. And so, yeah. I don't know. Anybody, like, oftentimes people like to make fun of certain states. Namely, bring up California. A lot of people like to say California is the worst state.
I hear a lot of people saying Ohio is bad.
I don't like California.
California's a country. Like, you can't. People will say, like, California, and
I would actually hate to live in California.
But see, like, I think that's just sort of. I don't think it's very logical because, like, people say that, but it's like, it's so freaking.
I'm
huge.
not saying it's not the most successful state because
I'm not like saying that. Like, I like everything about California, or like there isn't a bunch of shit going on in California, but I'm just saying, like, I don't like. Okay, what was it? New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.
Living in one part of New Hampshire is probably going to be this, like, basically the same as living in another part of New Hampshire. Living in one part of California is going to be completely different than living in a different, like another city.
Mm-hmm.
Like living in San Francisco is going to be completely different than living in San Diego or Los Angeles, or living out in, more of the suburban or rural areas in California. I guess what I'm saying is, like, it's a country. There's 60 something million people in California.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
High population.
I'm just saying, like, it's just so huge, and all the parts of California are so different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some parts of California, you're going to be, you're going to be in San Francisco. You're going to be, paying $5,000 for your apartment. You're going to be stepping in human excrement when you go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Some other parts of California, some parts are going to be in the mountains and it's going to be freezing cold. Some parts of California, you're gonna, if you walked on the street barefoot, you would burn off the skin on your feet. And then like basically all the cities in California, it's going to be a, leftist echo chamber. But then if you go outside,
say that about any big city, then.
Well, right. So, but if you go to any of those cities, the rest of the state is red, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I mean, like,
yeah,
if you're not by people in California, it's freaking great.
But
you can't dispute, like, California. Certain parts of California have the best, like, I guess as objectively as you can say, the best climate in the country. Like, it is the mildest climate in the country.
If California was this little tidbit that people like to throw out isn't necessarily true, but like, if California was to become its own country, it'd be the 5th largest economy in the world, which isn't necessarily true, because part of the reason it would be the 5th largest. Part of the reason California's economy is so large is because of all the interstate trade it does. So if it was to leave the United States, that trade would be hindered, so it probably wouldn't be the 5th largest economy anymore. But no, California's a huge powerhouse. Every IT company, at least I would say 90% of every IT company, 90% of the IT companies you've heard of have headquarters in California.
Sure.
So it's just a big state that, for some reason incentivizes, entrepreneurship, business, and just wealth. And like, when people think of like going to make it big, they think of two states, New York and California. Like, I'm going to go there and, I'm going to start a career. They don't think of fucking Alabama. I can tell you that. What are you going to do in Alabama? Like, be a country singer? People think of Tennessee.
Why you got to kick Alabama when they're down?
Well, actually, there was another topic in Alabama. And just the fucking those. Yeah, no. There was another topic.
Like, you're very invested in this state that you've never been to.
Oh, fuck. California is objectively the worst. Well, I think from a very objective standpoint, we've stated pretty much how that is not true.
Like, the worst. See, to me, like, well, it depends what you mean by worst. Like, are you saying worst is like the most amount of bad? Are you saying it's like the least amount of good? Are you saying it's, the most? Are you talking about the ratio of good and bad? Or I don't know what, like, because, like, what is it? Is there really anything like Ohio? Okay, are there good things about Ohio? Maybe they have a pretty competent government. Maybe their schools are fine. Maybe like everything is fine in Ohio, but there's nothing great about Ohio. Maybe the people, but there's nothing really great about Ohio. Like California might have, shit in the streets in San Francisco, but there are great things about, like, there are parts of California that have great beaches, great mountains, great places to be. Whereas you can't say the same thing about Ohio.
I don't understand your fixation on, like, these things need to be great in these states. Like I don't really care if it's like great.
I know you don't care, but there's a reason why people want to be in California.
Yeah, because there's jobs there.
Not just because of jobs.
If there were no jobs in California, nobody would live in California. I don't care how many beaches you have.
Like, people will live somewhere because the climate is good, regardless of the jobs.
Huh? Dude, this guy, I don't even know what he said. California has some aspects so incredibly horrendous, even its most including ones that are unique and the best in the country, are exponentially outweighed by the negatives.
Exponentially?
That is not true. I don't know.
I don't know how to answer that.
Guys, I just sense a personal bias is all.
Huh, you have personal bias against freaking Alabama.
Listen, I just pointed out, like, objectively, based on, like, certain criteria, it was the worst, too. Like, I mean, it's not just. But
you like, it's not like you're just like Alabama has, like, is ranked low and then that's it.
It is.
No, you're low. Like, Alabama fucking sucks. Yeah, like it's terrible. Like,
it does suck. Would you want to live in Alabama? What are you gonna? All right, Alabama's fucking defender.
Like I would live in Alabama.
Why?
Because I could be by the ocean. And I could be in actually a reasonably sized metro area.
Yeah, okay, making $2 an hour at Alabama wages. Remove San Francisco, and I would agree. San Francisco is probably one of the most important cities of California, just from an economic standpoint.
Sure, I guess. Well, what are you saying then?
What do you mean?
Remove what?
He said remove San Francisco. I was like, why would you remove San Francisco?
Well, remove San Francisco.
It's probably one of the most important global cities in the world. Probably third behind New York City, Los Angeles.
See, the funny thing about San Francisco is like, okay, they like on paper there's a lot of, because like the companies have headquarters there.
Yeah.
So like on paper there's a lot of money there, but there's not. My impression is that I don't know what's the population.
It's very wealthy. Lots of rich people.
Well, San Francisco. I'm just trying to figure out. Bleh. San Francisco. I'm just trying to figure out the population. Pull that up, Alex, because I'm.
Population of San
stupid.
Francisco.
So 800,000. That's pretty big.
That's
yeah.
a respectable city. That's whoa there, son.
What?
There was like static, or maybe that was me. Oh,
That was most definitely you.
Am I just hearing it?
Whoa there, son.
It's just you.
Okay, good. All right, that's fine. Yeah, no. So what were you saying? Yeah, no. San Francisco is probably. I mean, just I understand people like to bring up that, but honestly, if you ever read the book Triumph of a City, was it the Triumph or Why Nations Fail? It's one of the two.
Oh, it's funny. It's one of those.
It's one of the two.
Yep.
I think it was Triumph of the City.
I'm terribly shocked, John, that you bring up those books. I've never heard you talk about those.
Well, I don't think I've said it on these.
Maybe not.
On this podcast, but I mean the book is great.
You happen to like cities, John.
Oh, I love cities.
I like
Cities are the best.
You say that.
Huh?
You say that just like bar none, no qualifiers.
Listen.
No exceptions.
The creation of cities is a simply organic thing.
You're not.
I'm going to defend myself. Cities are organically made.
You're not defending why you can say it without any qualifiers. Like you're saying why they're good, but you're not saying why there's nothing bad about them. Because there are bad things about them. I'm not saying.
I understand they're bad. Like diseases spread faster in cities because everyone's so condensed. I think you can mitigate these things, but yeah, no. The reason cities are organic, natural flows of just human interaction. Like people will congregate and concentrate in a central area, typically by a river, by the shore or something, and a city will form, and cities are good for the economy. They actually are good for the environment. They're good for plethora of other things I can't name right now. But yeah, no, those two things. And it is only the idea of living outside a city is not completely, but for the most part, it's very artificial. And like part of the reason so many people live outside of the city, in America at least, is because the government subsidizes it. And like if there was no government subsidy or the government allowing people, well, not allowing them, but just subsidizing it in general, more people would live in the city than live out of the city.
Sure, that's probably true.
And now, again, there are downsides. Diseases spread faster and all, but I feel like through time with like better health awareness, better like cleaning strategies and cleanliness, disease goes down. And with people say high cost of living in cities is a bad thing. I think that is not a problem inherent with the city, but with zoning laws, and that the only cure to that is you just need to build more homes in cities. And boom, housing prices go down, and it makes it affordable to live in a city. Look at cities like Houston. Affordable. Chicago, to some extent, is an affordable city to live in because they...
Chicago really that affordable?
No, they build new housing developments a lot, and not as much Now, the reason why places like San Francisco are so restricted to live in is because, well, San Francisco
homes. Well, not single family, but basically like
low
density,
and they don't really allow new construction in said cities, and that's a problem with San Francisco and all those California cities and New York City to a lesser extent. But but actually, you know what? Why the reason I brought up Alabama is because Alabama had recently banned an episode. The backward state of Alabama had recently banned an episode of everyone's favorite cartoon, Anteater.
Anteater.
I think
Arthur.
I talked about Arthur. Because it featured
I saw that.
a gay marriage.
Why are they trying to corrupt the youth, John?
Huh?
Why are they trying to corrupt the youth?
Who, Alabama or Arthur?
Arthur.
I don't fucking know, man.
I'm joking, but at the same time, I mean, I'm not. I just don't feel. It's public TV. Watch at your own risk. I don't know.
Arthur was a classic. You watched Arthur
before they.
Before they
turned it into a social justice movement. Whatever. I don't care about who cares.
Alabama cares.
Really,
the state
of Alabama cares.
The state of Alabama.
Okay, the people if you have a family, if you have kids in Alabama, right, and you don't like this. So you would want the gay wedding to be on TV. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to change your kids' outlook or behavior. If you feel strongly about your kids knowing about
I think it's a
gay relationships and gay weddings, and you're in Alabama, I'm pretty sure your kids are going to know about that.
Yeah. No, Jake. I think it's a principle. I think it's a sign of
principle.
Here's the government basically censoring
government-made programs.
Well, I mean, it's still censorship. I mean, censorship saying, "Oh no, we don't want these people to see this, so we're just going to block people from seeing it." And I mean, so that's the article. I mean, censorship is still censorship, saying,
but it's not. But this isn't. They're not censoring. They're not censoring a news story.
They are censoring. There is censorship.
This isn't okay. But you have to.
Are you for or against censorship? Yes or no?
I'm not going to answer that. So okay. Here's the thing. I'm saying with this though, okay, you're talking. Okay, you're saying that they're censoring the show. Which yes, they're censoring, but you're acting as though.
Yes, I understand.
You're acting. No, not that it's just a government program. You're acting as though that the Kids Hour on PBS was usually an unfiltered. Nothing held back. They got fucking porn playing on PBS Kids. They got World Star Hip Hop guys getting their heads cut off on PBS Kids. No, it's already censored. It's kids TV.
Jake.
I'm not saying that they should or should not have censored that, but I'm just saying it's already
really getting amped up over this one.
Well, because I think the whole idea is you're censoring it.
That. No,
that
censoring. Is censorship.
But by just saying that they're censoring it, you're putting you're equating this censorship to the government blacking out a news story or something.
Well, I mean, I think the principle. They're violating a principle of just if PBS doesn't want to show an episode of whatever, that is PBS's. The network executives, whatever, they can do whatever they want. That's not censorship. It's their network. They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
But then the Alabama government.
The Alabama government decides that they don't want a government program shown.
I mean, listen. The fact of the matter, whether or not it is or is not a government program, I don't really think that's the main idea.
I think it is different than if. Well, yeah, it is different than if it's because they wouldn't have power. I don't believe over a Nickelodeon show.
I mean, yes, they can. They can go to the state government of Alabama can go to Nickelodeon and say we don't want you showing this in the state of Alabama.
No, I don't believe so. I believe the only reason they're able to do this is because it's PBS.
I'll let you know something. The government can do whatever. Alabama can go to Nickelodeon and say we're not going to air this on Alabama TVs. They can do that. Any state can do that.
What? No. Oh my gosh, no.
The federal government could do it.
No, the state of Alabama cannot stop Nickelodeon
from airing.
The only reason that they can do this is because it's PBS public broadcasting.
Okay, Jay, I think. Okay, all right. Okay, Jay.
You know how TV providers work. There's a private company that provides television
yes,
service.
I understand.
And one of the public channels on there is PBS,
yes.
Right? Government, right?
Okay.
Government's involved, not with the other ones. I know you have the SEC, but no, the only reason, as far as I can tell, they're able to do this is because it's PBS.
There are state telecommunication regulators that can go up to these private networks and say what you can and cannot do. And they can do this according to, and all these networks have to follow these state laws. It works with internet companies too. The state of Washington, D.C. can have laws that regulate internet companies that say, oh, we don't want you to do this or that.
It was Alabama Public Television. So fuck off with your censorship crap. Alabama's public television chose not to show it.
It's still censorship. We don't want to air an episode of this show.
There's a fundamental difference. There's a fundamental difference, right? Okay. Let's say we have a podcast, right?
Yes.
So you're saying censorship.
If we have a podcast that we privately make, and we make an episode, and it airs on public radio, and we make an episode, and this episode we talk about, I don't know, gay marriage, and then it airs on and then the Alabama government says, hey, you're talking about gay marriage, you're not allowed to talk about gay marriage.
No, they can't do that, you moron. The only reason they're able to do this is because it's Alabama public television. They're not censoring a private.
You can still make a show. We can have say Alabama Public Radio. We have the IFM Podcast on Alabama Public Radio. It airs on Alabama Public Radio. That's our host that provides produces our show. Okay, and every Wednesday at 9:00, the IFM Podcast show airs on Alabama Public Radio at 9:00 every Wednesday. One episode, we decide to talk about the subject of gay marriage. Alabama Public Radio says we are not going to air this episode of your show, which normally airs at Wednesday, because you talk about a subject we don't like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you have censored us. I'm not saying whether or not Alabama can or cannot do that.
You're saying they can or they should?
Huh?
You're saying that? Well, okay.
I don't think they should do it, but I'm well aware it is within Alabama's power to do this.
Not.
Okay.
They cannot. They cannot censor. They cannot censor They cannot censor a private channel. TV channel.
Hear what I just said?
No, they could not.
But you're not getting his point.
What?
I'm saying in this situation,
I say we have a show that airs on Alabama Public Radio.
That's the thing.
We wouldn't.
It's fun. They're hosting on their own path.
Here's the thing. I can if I go on what? No.
Arthur is made above
if I
Alabama.
What did Gavin McInnes do? Gavin McInnes went on his one of his shows. He literally just got up on camera, stood up on his chair, and just exposed his naked anus on the camera, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So he did that on his own show, whatever. I don't know if that was Rebel Media or whatever. All right, so he did that, okay, and then he could put it out there on certain websites because that it didn't go against their terms of service, whatever. But there's a difference between this is all this is a public channel. This is a government sponsored channel, right?
Yes.
They are not obligated.
I'm well aware.
To show.
I'm well aware.
Anything that the
I
people that run
I understand this, Jake. I'm saying
and it's not censorship if they don't okay. Well, I guess maybe it is censorship, but it doesn't matter. I guess what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter because they're not going to allow.
It doesn't matter about anything. I mean, yes. Do I think this is a serious strike on the gay community and kids in Alabama will never know what gay marriage is because they did not view this Arthur episode? No. What I've been arguing is it's a principle standpoint. You know, should Alabama do this? No, they shouldn't. Can they do this? Yes, they can. Alabama should not have done this. This was a bad decision that I disagree with.
I disagree. I disagree that you're saying that's a principle thing. To me, this is case by case basis because it's not. This isn't like a news story. This isn't different. This is different than this is different than Alabama public television choosing not to if they had some sort of news program. This is different
than
them.
Which they can do.
I'm not saying that they can or cannot.
Well, they can. If it's on Alabama public television and there's a news show on it, and they say the news show, we don't.
Yeah, but I'm saying that is fundamentally different than choosing not to air an episode of a children's show.
I don't think it's. I mean, I understand how it's not as serious, but I think the principle still applies the same.
Because to me the whole idea of having if there's an adult oriented news program, right? There's an expectation that the government is not going to be withholding information about public events, right? To adults, right? This is about withholding information about same-sex marriage to children, right? I think that's fundamentally in the form of a children's program.
Fundamentally different. I think censorship is censorship. They decided to censor. Hey kids, we don't want you watching this. Whether or not they decide.
It's a child this is.
Is gay marriage not
I mean I know you personally wouldn't bat an eye. I'm not saying that I'm really
apparently
that bothered.
Jake, I'm not Alabama's defense attorney.
I'm not saying that I'm bothered by
he loved that state
the same-sex marriage. I'm not saying that I'm bothered by them having a same-sex marriage episode. But what I'm saying is that I know you personally probably don't care what content would be on a children's program or
Jake, would you let your kids watch this episode?
I just don't feel too strongly about it. I probably
would you let your kids watch this episode?
Would you turn it
Probably
off
not.
if you saw them watching?
You would not let your kids watch.
If you saw this episode airing in front of them, they're already sitting down and watching.
If they're already watching it, maybe I wouldn't stop them. But
okay, Jake, yes or no?
No, fine. If you want to force me to make a decision, yeah.
All right.
That's
stupid.
It's not a.
TJ, would you let your kids watch this episode?
Yeah.
It's not
Alex, you letting your kids watch this episode of Arthur?
I'm not having kids.
If you did, come on, yes or no?
I would prefer if they didn't.
Oh, really?
Alex.
Why? Let's hear your
Base and
defense.
Redfield, Alex right here.
Why would you want your kids not to watch this episode?
I prefer they watch quality
you don't
television
like
programming.
Yes,
I think this is probably a bad episode.
Episode. He doesn't want them to watch
Arthur
mediocre
does not
television.
need to be tied into gay marriage.
This is true.
Oh my god.
This is true. So, John, what I'm telling you is
we need to separate
I know you
Arthur
personally
and
probably you wouldn't give a fuck about what's on the children's network. You know, if guys are getting their heads cut off, whatever. You know, kids. You know, they gotta
Gay
learn.
marriage is now akin to guys getting their heads chopped off.
That's
You're right.
John.
You just narrowed it down.
Hey, you know, you're strawmanning me, John. I'm
Okay.
I'm using a logical extension. Like I'm saying, like you personally don't care.
How do you logically extend gay marriage to people getting their heads chopped off?
What I'm saying is you're talking about censorship, and you're saying in every case, right? Censorship is bad. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Because you're talking about principle. You're on principle. So you're saying that the idea that the network is censoring this gay marriage episode is wrong. What's the principle? Is the principle that only censoring gay marriage is wrong, or is the principle that censoring anything is wrong?
Well, Jake, in the case of PBS, this show does not. They think it's not suitable for kids, and so they have decided. Oh, okay, we're going to censor this. We don't want.
Which is what they always do.
Huh?
Which is what they have always been doing as a children's network.
I feel that decision is up to the Arthur creators to decide what's suitable for kids.
That doesn't. To me, that doesn't make sense at all.
They're kids show. They should.
Okay, so the public television network, right?
Yes.
They do not create the content themselves, right? They have to get content from other places, or maybe it's a centralized whatever. Okay,
and sometimes
so they are constantly choosing.
Arthur,
okay, whatever the exact situation is, right? The public television network has to choose what to air, right? So they have in the past been choosing to air Arthur because the creators of the show have created a show that the people at the public television network have decided is acceptable. And they've always done this. And if for some reason, so the same-sex marriage one, the reason why we're arguing about it is because it's at this point in like sort of mainstream American political discourse, it's seen as something accepted by a good portion of the population, right? So, you know, this is why we're arguing.
Except in Alabama.
Well, okay. This is why we're talking. This is why there's even an argument. Like, so if, you know, the creators of Arthur, you know, started smoking crack, and they came up with some episode where, you know, Arthur, you know, kills his classmate,
if they
right?
Can make that in a childhood.
This is just like a hypothetical. I'm just hypothetical argument. If they just made that into an episode, right?
Yes.
Like nobody would be offended. Nobody would be shocked if the public television network chose not to air it. So it's not like and
I would be offended.
Well, of course, maybe you would, but you know,
what
so like. So, like, I wouldn't expect you, or I hope you wouldn't say, like, well, you know, they need to have the, you know, classmate murder episode aired because, you know, I don't believe in censorship. No, they don't, like, so you're talking about censorship as a principle. I don't know exactly what your principle is when it comes to censoring kids shows. Like, what content is acceptable for you or not? Is it all content is acceptable or not? Or certain things
TV,
or what?
What is it? TV? Was it outside the guidelines of a TVG? Are you not allowed?
But this is all about the guide. We're all arguing about the guidelines here. What's you know permissible or not?
Well, I'm sorry. Repeat that.
What is permissible in a kids TV show? This is what we're arguing about.
I think gay marriage is one of those. I mean, I don't have a list of things that are permissible. I mean, gratuitous violence. I probably wouldn't air that on a kids' TV show. I don't think Arthur's doing that. So
no, but I'm just saying.
No, gay marriage. I think that's one of the things that is fine, and I think the only reason, like, either you or Alex are saying, oh, like, my kid shouldn't be seeing gay marriage on a kids' show, like, I couldn't understand it. Like, I mean,
well, I know you wouldn't because you don't feel strongly about it in the first place.
Is it something you feel strongly about?
Yeah, sure.
Why do you feel strongly? Why do you feel strongly about?
I believe in traditional marriage, John.
You believe in traditional marriage?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god!
That's I'm sorry. I know you're offended.
I'm not offended.
Libs triggered.
I'm not
but
offended.
I guess what I'm saying is like, okay, they aren't. I don't know.
Well, Jake, it doesn't matter if you do or do not believe in gay marriage. It's something that happens. I mean, you can do or do not believe in evolution.
Okay,
or
fine.
Dinosaurs.
I'm not saying that I'm stopping it from happening.
I understand. I understand you're not saying that, but the fact that what I'm saying is, your kids are going to be exposed to it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
It's not gratuitous violence. It's not something that a kid leaves getting traumatized by.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's fine to show it on a kid's show. There's no problem.
Okay, in your view, it is.
Okay, I guess.
I'm just saying I disagree with you.
Okay, I understand. I understand you disagree with me, but yeah, no. So as far as the state of Alabama coming in saying we won't air gay, it promotes gay anything. I mean, I think that is a stupid decision, and I think you're only in what is it called when you not inhibiting inhibiting the kids of Alabama by
how are you inhibiting them?
Huh?
How are you inhibiting
They're going
them?
to be exposed to gay marriage now or later.
Okay.
I would prefer it now. Like, they know
you would prefer it for other people's children.
Yes. I mean, listen, gay marriage is a thing that happens out in the world.
Right.
And how
this still doesn't pertain to why it should or should not be in a kids program.
Huh?
This is not explaining why it should or should not be.
Does it traumatize kids?
Gay marriage?
Yes.
Depends who you ask.
Jake, does it traumatize kids? Like,
I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that.
If I ask some bad,
I'm not going to say that like gay marriage is always a good thing or a bad thing.
Okay, well, I don't think it's. I think it's just something that is. I don't really care much for gay marriage as much as apparently I've been forced into to actually defend. But it doesn't traumatize kids. It's not gratuitous violence. It's from the looks of it. In this episode, I think a character comes out is gay.
They get married.
Oh no.
I'm just telling you that's what happens. Again, I don't really feel that. I like whether
in the season from. Oh, okay. I don't watch this episode.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So yeah, I think gay marriage is an idea that I think is safe for kids that they should be exposed to and occurs.
You feel that way. I guess the reason why I wouldn't be inclined to show my kids is like okay. So like Arthur, I don't know exactly what Arthur's shown throughout the years. Like a lot of these kid shows actually do, a decent amount of them will try to insert sort of social issues or whatever. But like as from my memories of Arthur, and I think most of these other kids TV shows, they don't really have anything that could even be construed as political or social. Like, or I mean social, I guess, but like if it's just about don't lie to your parents, or be an honest kid, or be a good student, like none of that, like that is, there's basically zero controversy on any of that stuff. Or or some of the shows, I don't know, with SpongeBob, like SpongeBob, I don't think it had any sort of issues that could be even construed as controversial. I don't think so. I could go back and maybe find something, maybe, but so like that, like there's nothing really to worry about. So like I don't really have to worry about my kids getting the wrong idea about something from SpongeBob or some other show that is less political, because or basically getting an idea that I don't agree with. I don't have to. You don't agree with Mr. Rathburn coming out as gay? It's not about him coming out as gay. He's getting married to his same-sex partner. So if they featured an episode in Arthur where they talk about evolution, would you? Evolution, I don't think is as important as marriage. Controversy. I'm just talking about controversy. I mean, like, again, I don't really feel strongly about evolution, but okay. That could be something. But like this is like a social issue. So like, I guess what I'm saying is like, they are the point of this episode, at least in my eyes, is like they're showing like a character that kids know, and I'm assuming like, and like, okay, so this person like is gay, and they have a same-sex partner, and like they are they're both out publicly, and then they are getting publicly married, and this is something that's like good, like it's just normal, and this should be, I'm assuming, celebrated, like it's the season premiere, like, so just like that whole concept. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong, but like to me, like that's something that is more important than SpongeBob going around and taking his boating school lessons. So like that is something like I would want to. So would you have a problem if a conversation with my kids about in the 1960s or 1950s? Okay. The Arthur show featured an episode
where a character got interracially married?
Because I don't think interracial marriage is wrong.
Okay. So, well, I don't know. It seems
or even
if
like
it's socially controversial, they should since SpongeBob doesn't do anything.
I guess maybe socially controversial incorrect. It's just like whether I think it's controversial. Maybe society, regardless of what society thinks.
Okay. All right then. I guess that. I mean, listen. I guess that's your personal choice. I mean, they're your kids. Unfortunately, I don't think I don't know what the fear. I don't agree with gay marriage. Therefore, my kids should never see it. Again,
I'm not saying okay, but you're saying
things I don't agree with that they feature prominently on television. Like when I see a guy in a platonic relationship with a female, I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. This would never happen. But I'm not like, kids, look away. Like I don't need you seeing this and getting the wrong idea here. But I mean, it's like okay, whatever.
I mean, like if my kids were watching that, it's not the end of the world. Like I'm not gonna freak out. But it's like if you're just telling me, it's like okay, you could show them this episode, and they can sort of have their viewpoint informed from that episode, or you can choose that between or me explaining it to my kids. I'm gonna choose to explain it to my kids myself, not the show do it.
I mean, you can still explain it to your kids after showing.
That's why I wouldn't freak out. But like I'm not.
I mean, the fact if we're gonna I'm gonna limit my kids what I agree with on television, they're gonna be watching.
But it's not. It's not about what. It's like I don't if it's something that is less than like marriage, then okay, fine.
So your line is at marriage.
That's just one thing. That's just one example.
Okay, I mean the fact that I don't think my kids are leaving with
if my kids think the moon is made of cheese. Right, because some TV show they go to the moon and it's made out of cheese. Like, I'm not gonna freak out about that because it doesn't really matter if they think the moon is made out of cheese or not. Yeah. Right? If they think that, but maybe it does matter a little bit more. If okay, how are romantic relationships supposed to work? How is marriage supposed to work? I think it's a little bit more important than whether the moon's made out of cheese or something.
Okay. So arbitrary and capricious. Very arbitrary and capricious.
Arbitrary. How is it arbitrary?
No, just where you draw your this is wherever you draw your line, you can. I mean that's fine. It's your kids. You do whatever you want. I think I just disagree with the parenting style of you know what, kids, you watch whatever you want, and I mean again I don't understand if they view something what is the fear your kid sees gay marriage and then what are they going to think what do you fear they'll think?
They're going to think exactly what the episode is trying to portray, which is that it is normal and acceptable and should be encouraged.
Okay, and okay. I mean, okay, I understand.
There is a point where they the reason this. I think there is a subtle, but I think important difference between them already having, or not. Yeah, basically them already having a character that's gay, or maybe I don't know if they've mentioned that Mr. Etherin or whatever is gay in the first place, but I feel like there's a difference between them just kind of being there and just having it just as normal. And them trying to make a point with having it their marriage as the episode, the season finale.
It was season premiere.
Premiere. Yeah. I think there's a subtle difference there, but maybe it's not. I mean, again, I really overall I don't think it's all that important. But
I mean, I didn't think it was all that important either. I mean, well, as far as are really the kids of Alabama stunted? No, they're not. But I think it's just again, I think this really lowers the bar here. Okay, now we can block it on the grounds of gay marriage. What's next? Just any socially controversial issue in Alabama, if Arthur decides to even touch upon it, Alabama will come in, swoop in, and say, nope, can't do this either. And then it's again, it's just really controlling and this is how we want our people to think, and we don't trust our people to watch television, come to their own conclusions and decisions. And then I think, especially
we don't because they're children.
Okay, whatever. Listen. I think
we don't expect children to be fully rational and functional human beings.
Listen. If I'm a parent, my child, he's watching whatever he wants.
I know how you're saying my view is arbitrary, but yours is too.
How is mine? I said he can watch whatever he wants.
Okay, but you're saying about what should be censored or not be censored, right? Are you really gonna? Are you really willing to stand by the idea that a children's network should not censor
Arthur
anything?
should feature a beheading? No, I think,
right. So okay,
yes,
and I agree with you. So you do have an arbitrary,
but I don't think gay marriage is that line because
okay. So we just disagree about the line.
It doesn't. But I think my line is as far as I'm talking about gratuitous violence, and like if there was a rape scene in Arthur, where Mr. Rathburn's really going at it, like maybe. But I think like as far as just topics and ideas and covering them, is a completely fine thing to do. There is no topic and idea on Arthur that should not be even like.
What about gay marriage?
Gay marriage should be. I don't think there's like if they're just simply discussing a topic or idea. That is not a problem.
They're not just discussing it, though.
Well, okay, whatever. Like, if they're exposing you to a new topic or idea in however way they see fit, there's no problem with that. However, well, no, there is no however. But if they're, like, actually, like, depicting rape, beheading, like, okay, yeah, maybe there's a problem. But as far as just, like, exposing people to new ideas and different viewpoints, no.
What about the idea of beheading?
Huh?
The idea of beheading.
They can do that, too. I mean, they can talk about beheadings and say beheadings happen.
Okay, maybe you think that's fine.
Oh my God.
I would not want my kid to know about beheadings.
Guys, we were all children. We watched some fucked up shit when we were children. Here we are.
Am I supposed to think that's a good thing?
Well, you're the man you are today. You still believe, like, Jake, you saw some fucked up kids, and here you are saying how you believe. I believe in traditional.
Yeah, I'm saying I saw.
I'm saying
I saw that, and I don't think it's a good thing.
Again, I just think it's listen. Let your kids watch what
like,
they want.
And again, I do think there's a difference between like kids coming across stuff from the internet and having a public institution fund programs that are broadcast on public television. I don't think it's the same.
Well, they fund some of the shows, but I think they
however
mostly
it
fund
exactly works. I don't
know. I know they fund some of it's private where they just they air it on the public air time or whatever. Yeah, no, and so that's that. How long have we been going, Alex?
Hour 25.
That's good enough. Stop kicking this mule.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Sure about that.
100%. We're out of topics.
There was a lot of Arthur.
The Arthur episode.
Thank you. It was an Alabama episode.
It was like a half an hour of Alabama and Arthur.
No, I think it was more than half an hour.
Holy fuck.
Are we still on?
Yes.
Fuck it.
Thank you for watching the Arthur episode.
This is the Arthur episode. Alabama episode.
Arthur and Alabama.
That's it.